see what we're talking about with they're going ahead and showing us the let me actually just make sure the audio setting is fine, because we were a little bit yeah, there you go. Okay, so we have the briefing. They're going ahead and doing the driver's briefing, but once we do once they're just showing where you can take the turns and go ahead and overtake and so on. Once we finish this one, we'll go ahead and start with the qualifying and the race. Everyone gets a chance to make sure they are ready. Hello, Dassy. Make sure they're ready for the race. And the reason we're doing this is so they can explain to everyone involved. For example, Dalvin and Psycho are showing where to move out of the way when you're being lapped and how to give back position and so on. So we're ready to get going, and Dalvin is now moving on to the side for Psycho, who is going to go down on his left, I would assume. There he is, yes. And now we'll have Dalvin again lap Psycho. They're just showing it so that we have an idea of what to do. Imola is one of the most historic tracks in Formula One. The Enzio Dino e Ferrari track in Imola, in San Marino. Very historic track. Also, the site of the tragedy of losing Ayrton Senna, the late great Ayrton Senna. But in recent years, we've been treated to one of the more chaotic wet weather races. In 2021, we had a very chaotic wet weather race. And this year, we, in round 2, it does look like it's going to be a cloudy one. I would expect a little bit of rain showers to come through. We are keeping our eyes peeled for any sort of situation, but yes. So this lap is just done. Everyone gets a lap in, and from now on, our practice sessions will be broadcast as well. So the practice is simple. You get an out lap, an installation lap to figure out if your setting is good, if you're happy with your setting, and you set up and you come back in and that's it. Only one hot lap allowed. There are certain rules that we've carried over from our first round, like strict corner cutting has become part of the league. So it was it's going to be a very tricky race because it's one of the tracks that can easily overheat your tires and cause you to go off track, as Dalvin's just shown us. So we have Psycho, who is further ahead and now coming in to the pits to finish up the driver's briefing. So Dalvin's just showing us what to expect, where you could go on, and make sure he's now doing his hot lap, which he's allowed to do. Actually, he's not. He's just, I don't think he's going maxed out. Yeah, I think he's just showing us where the pit line and what to do. So if you cross the pit white line and there's a car out coming out, that is something to do. Oh, for example, for some reason, my stream has been frozen. Let me just fix that. Hope we can get that done. We're just waiting for Elgato to catch up. Sorry about the delay, guys. It is just... There it is. That should fix things. Yeah. The problem was something about the game that just froze the input, the video. So we are set for round 2 at Imola. We see Marco, Emanane, Toka, Swids. Marco's joining us today for Alpine. Emanane for Williams and Toka for the Aston Martin, as well as Swids coming with the Red Bull. And Nando Loris, is joining us for for the Red Bull, so back-to-back weekends of them being a full squad is very nice. Envy is here. He did a fantastic lap. Sorry, I thought that was me. No, that's okay. I think that was just... Oh, never mind. It's doing it again. All right, this is something we need to fix, so I'm just going to go ahead and do something. Hopefully it doesn't crash everything. But if I don't do it, I don't want to risk not having a little bit of problems. But thankfully, this is the practice session. So I'm hoping we can get going here and not have to worry about anything else. I'm just going to hope and see. There is some issue. Yeah, it is. It's some issue happening. I don't necessarily know what is going on, but we're going to go ahead and find out. I'm going to go settings and make sure that visually everything is sorted. Audio settings. On-screen display, simulation. It should be in graphic. I'm just making sure that it's not on like full screen or something, but video mode. There it is. It is windowed. I don't know why it's giving us trouble. It is interesting for sure. Okay, let's... Now we don't have the sound, but let me get sound capture going. And that may freeze it for a bit. Let me just get that going here. We're having some technical difficulties. I'm not getting any sound output from the Elgato, so this is not very good. Having a little bit of problems. Apologies. I'm just going to take us to the chatting screen now. I'll be trying to fix it. Hopefully not a problem. Sound settings. Let's go ahead and make sure our that and yeah. So let's go manage sound devices. Yep, there you go. And now I can go sound capture. We're just trying to make sure that it is all set and ready. Okay, that's good. You guys have audio? I don't seem to have audio, so hopefully that's something I can fix on my end. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, good. Now let me go back onto the game. Certain little bit of a problem here, but I think we've solved the issue. Thankfully, so that should get us to the other side and without any trouble. So, as we've told you, we'll do one, they'll get one hot lap. They're allowed one hot lap, and then we will get the qualifying underway. So this is a chance for them to get back into form, get their lines, get used to the temperature differences, and make sure their setting is pretty good. As we take a look here at the Alfa Romeo of, as I believe this is Foz. Foz is making his debut as a full-time driver for Alfa Romeo this weekend. Congratulations to Foz. And we have Aravind Iyer, who had a very strong race. Even in spite of having some trouble, he was, I believe, in the points at the end of the race. So that was very nice to see. Double points for Williams last time around. And of course, we have Marco joining us for Alpine, the first time of the year. Even though we had sent join us for Alpine last year, that last race, that was a little bit of a problem. It wasn't meant to be, but Scent is now in that Alpha Tauri seat. He seems very happy to do just that as we watch him go through the beautiful turns. And they do have those spiked curbs, so you do need to be a little bit careful. They can wreak havoc on your tires, so you don't want to run into any issues. Shadow and Horse both are ready for McLaren. Envy, of course, is now coming into the pits. He didn't do a hot lap. I think he doesn't want to show his cards, at least till the start of qualifying. So he just wants to make sure. He couldn't compete in last week's race because he had other commitments to go to as the race start got delayed a little too much and he wasn't able to join us. But he did have a dominant session when it came to spectator menu. I'm just want to make sure we have detail. So we will have the telemetry. We'll have the tire best laps up here. It's what's needed. Telemetry is not needed. We will have the lap data as well as the full track map ready for you guys to see. The AlphaTauri boys, as you can see, are out. It's Raj and Scent. Raj had a very strong race last week. He should be ready to make a nice jump into that podium place. MSRL struggles. Everything okay, Psycho? Dal messed up. Oh no. Oh no, we have to restart the lobby. Is that what it is? We'll be going straight to quali, I assume. I had some technical difficulties myself, man. My Elgato had a little bit of moment, but we seem to be okay now, so thankfully. All right. Straight to quali. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put us in the chatting screen. Next time you see these beautiful cars, it'll be qualifying as we get ready for the next lobby. All right. So Denara tops our practice chart, but you know these guys aren't pushing. Even Denara, I would assume, is just holding back just a little bit, making sure everyone's guessing, keep them worried and entertained. You'll now return to session lobby. Yes, we are now returning to lobby, and we'll start a new lobby and do it. Let me know when it's good to join on Dalv. Join back in on Dalv. And while we have some time, let's take a look back at last week. It was a fantastic race driven by the McLaren, of course. He drove his heart out on that race, but 2 laps from finishing, there was a tussle as he tried to lap Zenoob. Sadly, I think Zenoob was also trying to struggle. He's starting to struggle with his tires. There was a little bit of a problem, and sadly, it meant Horse, the best he could hope for, and the best he did, was definitely, for now, we chill. All right. Yeah, sounds good. Just let me know whenever you need me to join. But he did salvage. Without that front wing, he went on to the final lap, and he completed the race and managed to get podium. Definitely well-deserved of that podium as well. Dalvin, though, definitely had to make his own lap, and he did just that. He had a fantastic drive. He started, I believe, P4 after he got promoted from P5, and drove a very neat, clean race. It's a penalty-free race, and used the strategy to full advantage as he got the jump on Switz, who were on the harder, older tires, and also had 3 seconds of penalty. So it was then Dalvin's race to lose, which he didn't lose, and Mercedes scored that first win of the season. And it was a very eventful race. We had a couple of restarts. We had a couple of issues. And yeah, I think definitely the Williams team performed very well. They were very quiet. Aston Martin had a really good start. Toka picked up, I believe, 5 places at the start. It was fantastic to see. It was overall a very exciting race in a track that not necessarily delivers on the excitement. It's a very straightforward track, unlike the track we have today, which should see some wheel banging, some side-by-side action, and of course, possibly, at least I would assume, one safety car. So that's going to be dramatic. How is that going to change the outcome? Is that going to affect strategy? Is that going to be affecting your strategy in Q2 if you are expecting a safety car to come out, especially in the first couple of laps? Do you go a little bit of a more aggressive strategy and use up the softs, or get rid of them and go on a one-stopper for hards or medium and try and pull that off? It is going to be tough. It is not a track that's very kind on its tires. Your temperatures will soar if you're not careful. But if you are able to be consistent, and if you're able to keep it without any mistakes, you can end up with a very, very strong season. So we have I think I'm just gonna make sure. Yep. I'm just gonna go ahead and join. All right. Joining the lobby. Yes, we're in the lobby, and I'm going to go spectate. And we are getting ready. It's going to be direct to qualifying this time, so I would be very surprised if there's any issues now. And this is where the race weekend really ramps up. It's no longer about getting your setup right. You don't have much choice when it comes to the race. Let me just quickly go ahead and check this. I just want to make sure that the sound, yes. Okay, I was just making sure the sound was coming on. I'll just go ahead and put us back on here. Yeah. Okay. Because it's been one of those days. There's been a little bit of a technical issue, not just with the game, for me as well, with my Elgato, with my broadcast software. Some way or the other, I've had a little bit of an issue. But thankfully, we are now knocking on the doors of qualifying, and it's just a little over 20 seconds left as we get ready to go to qualifying one. The objective of qualifying one, as always, top 15. Anything more is bonus, but you really don't make a difference if you are top 15 or first or second. Higher up the grid, of course, means you are more relaxed towards the end of the session. You will be looking at around, I think I want to say 115, high 115s will be the cutoff. I would think, at least for Q2. With qualifying one, because we only have around 18 people today for the race, we'll probably have a cutoff about 116. Mid 116s should get you through to Q2. I know for a fact that all these drivers were practicing. I was able to catch some glimpses of Shadow's practice laps for the McLaren yesterday as he was practicing for the race. And they look pretty good. I have a good feeling about Horse and McLaren as well as Shadow this race. So we'll have to see. Of course, it all matters nothing if you don't get that straight shot down to turn one and get out of there neat. And that's going to be tricky for this race. Now we're going into qualifying, guys. I'm going to take you in to the game. As you can see, the cars are getting ready. The track map awaits our first person to go out. Who is it going to be? We await the first guinea pig of there you go. The Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix gets ready to go. This track, if you look at the track map, reminds me a lot of Melbourne, and I think that is yes, that is Raj coming out. He's coming out, and we also have behind him, I believe that is Dinara. Maybe Dinara, maybe NB, but I think that is Dinara. That is is that Dinara? That is Dinara, yes. Dinara is out there as well. And we are getting ready for the first hot laps. They're all going on their out laps. They're going to keep their tires cool, and they're going to go around slow. The reason for that is very simple. You don't want to overheat your tires. You don't want to end up with extremely hot tires towards the end of the track. You want to keep it cool as possible. Keep it in the window, the optimal temperature as you cross the line, because turn 1, 2, and 3 are going to be very important for grip. Not just for grip, as you'll be using a lot of engine braking when it comes to turn, I believe, 5, 6. And when you get to the hairpin at turn 7, you want that grip without overheating, because if you have an overheated tire, you run the risk of not getting a good exit out of that hairpin. So it is going to be an interesting race. We have an Aston Martin parked on... Yep, that is a spun. That's an Aston Martin that's had a spin. That's Toka, who's had a little moment on his outlap. That will thankfully probably be not too much of a problem, because I think he will be able to get back and get any repairs done that he's needed. Unless there's too much damage, he should be fine. Raj is currently, I believe, on a faster lap than Dinara, as we will take a look when he comes to sector 2. And Raj crosses sector 2 at 57.8. Dinara is invalidated. Dinara is at 53, so definitely had a moment there. The Mercedes is getting ready. Raj sets off onto the final turn, and he's going to come to the line, and he will obviously go top of the timing sheets. I expect 1:16.368. That lap looked like a lot faster than a 1:16 mid. I have to say, I thought that was beyond point for a late 1:15s, but maybe there was a moment we missed, as Nando goes 1:18.313. And Envy puts it 1:15.1. That is, I will say, one of the faster laps you'll see in Q1. Envy has stamped his authority again. He did have a troublesome day in Bahrain, as he couldn't take part in the race. His qualifying performance was nothing short of mesmerizing. He put, I believe, 8/10 onto P2, which was very, very dominant performance, but he couldn't take part in the race, and there are no points awarded for your qualifying. So all these drivers will definitely want to have clean laps and a clean session, and hopefully be able to join the race. Dinara, I believe, is now coming down the final sector here. Yes, the final couple of corners as he goes down, and he's gonna go down and straight shoot down to the line, and he goes P4 1:16.995. Safe for now for Q1. I think that may be safe. A 1:16 should be safe, but Foz for Alfa Romeo did a fantastic job. We have Switz crossing the line, and he goes P2 with the 1:16 dead. A very strong lap from Switz here, as that Dinara goes purple first sector. Very nice lap. We will follow him along as they go. Purple first sector is that's a very speed reliant setup part of the track. So I would assume that purple sector means that he's running very low wings, trying to get the maximum. He goes purple second sector for a moment. I don't think that was accurate from the game, though. I will say, I don't think that was the case. As we keep an eye on Noobster, let's go ahead to Noobster after this lap of Dinara. We'll be able to take a look and see where Noobster is coming in. Dinara should improve, does improve. P3, well done from Dinara. Noobster crosses the line and goes P6. We have Psycho who had an invalidation, who's abandoned his lap, as Nando also abandons his lap. We have Dalvin going to, I believe he's going to start his lap as the Mercedes comes down. What a view that is. Let's go ahead and take in this lap from our race winner, Dalvin, and enjoy a sound up lap. Sadly, the lap was invalidated, and he will surely abandon that one. I didn't actually see where he would have gone in invalidation from. I'm guessing the first couple of turns, they can be very ruthless, as we have more people on their outlaps. There's a yellow flag, but surely just for slowing down. I think that's just... Oh, that is a spin. That is not going to help his tires at all as he gets ready. All right, let's keep our focus on Dalvin. Is going to cool down his tires as much as he can before he goes. Emanane gets a 5-place grid penalty with a collision with, is that, I don't know who that collision was. I think it may have been for Nando? No, it's not Nando, sorry. Scent? Maybe? I don't know. There's an Alpine moving out of the way. There's Advent Iyer. The Williams of Advent is behind. As both Williams come down, Emanane does have a 5-place penalty. That is going to be quite the spanner into the works. Now, are they going to try and tow Advent? Is that what Emanane has in mind? Are they tow down the main straight? This is Emanane's outlap. Advent is also on an outlap, so that is going to be tricky. I don't think this is no longer a tow. No, it isn't. It is definitely not a tow. As Emanane, oh, it may be. Ooh, the Williams are racing each other on track here. They are racing each other hard. Do they know it's only qualifying? I don't know. It seems like no one's told them. Seems like no one's told them, because Nando and then Advent is right behind Emanane. Oh, right ahead of Emanane. You can see the Alpine, I believe, of Psycho just following them up behind them. Or it could be Marco. Let me see who it is. Is this Psycho? Let's go ahead and catch us up with Psycho. And then we'll be able to spectate. Yeah, it is. We got an invalidation. He's now going to back off, save his tires, and go for a hot lap. The problem is, guys, is that they've had a lot of invalidations in this race, in this qualifying session. Where it starts to eke up more trouble for you is the timing. Psycho now has about 7 minutes as he lets Dalvin. Now, Dalvin had gone P2. That I did miss that. I think that was Noobster going around Psycho right now. Noobster's trying to improve from P8. Can he improve? No, he abandons his lap. As Psycho goes for it, guns it. We'll stick with him for the rest of the race. The beautiful sounding Alpine engine, the Renault engine, the hybrid, is at full force down the section as then he brakes. And this is just a little bit of engine braking here as we go fast down. Oh, on the edge, on the limit. Engine braking and then heavy down the brakes. Very easy to not get good traction out of that. And this turn reminds me of the hairpin in Suzuka quite a bit. The way it's cambered and the way it turns around. It is a hairpin, but at the same time, It's not a hairpin that you would expect to catch you out. It has that weird sort of slowly opening up. And this, a turn that anyone from Portimao will be familiar with. A very fast group of right-handers. These two turns can make or break your lap. You go too slow, you lose a lot of time. You go too fast, you end up in the outside of the gray stuff. So you want to be calm, collected, but as well on the limit. Very hard to do, a very hard balancing act. As he comes down, he won't be taking pole, but he may crack the top 10, and he does just that in P7. A very strong lap, but what I'm liking is that from 4th to 10th is within 1 second. This is going to make it a very interesting Q2 where strategy calls can be very, very interesting. Horse has so far not had a very good lap, as he now goes through and he's on his mediums. A very rare sight. I wonder if that's a way to save more tires for the race, or if he ran out of tires. This horse goes over, and that is a crash that is not going to help him. That is not a clean lap at all. That is not a clean lap at all. He's probably going to abandon this lap now, because you do not want... He doesn't seem to have taken any damage from it, which is surprising, because that was a head-on collision. He's now going down the back straight here, and will have probably plans to dive into the pits. Now, I don't know why he's gone on mediums. That is an interesting thing. If he does a makeup into our post-race press conference, we may be able to ask him that, because that is a very interesting point. Mediums in what is the soft running qualifying too. So I think he will dive into the pits as he does, yes. Marco is in the pits as well. The sole Haas driver has done a lap, but I don't think that was a clean lap, so they're not very happy. Flaky is now Toka is on an out lap, so let's go watch Toka. Foz also in the pits. Everyone seems to be in the pits. I think everyone's gotten into a lull as Toka goes down the main straight. DRS flap open with the letterbox showing you the background. As he shoots down, he will be hoping for a start much like last week, where he picked up a range 5 or 6 places within the first lap. A very strong start indeed. Kept his notes clean. But yeah, this is going to be a very interesting lap, as he needs a very good lap to get out of bottom 3 or bottom 4. We do have bottom 4, yeah. We do have more. Zenoob has retired. He will go no longer in the qualifying session. He has either taken too much damage, or he's just not sure he can improve. As the pace, the top 10 seems very, very close and very tight. There are still more battles behind, as in races we can't expect it can go any way. It can absolutely swing one way or the other. So it was very nice to see all these drivers be right next to each other, as Toka will take. Does he improve? He does not. He does not. He stays P18. Did not improve his lap. As he's going on the next lap, is he going to go ahead and keep pushing? Is going for it. Noobster is on an out lap. Marco's on an out lap. Horse is on an out lap. Interesting. Flaky has retired from the session. Can Toka improve enough? Dalvin has retired. Okay, so the top 7 have retired now. The top 7 drivers are happy with their times. Safe enough. But Toka is now on a lap. And I think that that moment, I think, made him pull out. So we'll go ahead and catch up with Horse, who is on an outlap as well. Now, Horse is in risk of getting pushed out if Toka can help it, if Arvind can help it, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. Actually, I think Horse is safe, as Flaky and Noob have both retired. I don't think even if Arvind and Toka push him out, unless Shadow also improves. And Shadow, I can tell you for sure, has a sub 116 lap in him. I was able to catch his practice. Definitely has a sub 117 for sure. So 116 mids he can do. I think he's keeping it as Horse purples the second sector. So I think that he's gone for more of a downforce oriented setup to give him a more stable rear end. Keeps it clean and tidy for the last two corners as he comes down the main straight to pick up a time that puts him P4. 1:15.9. That is more like it. I was expecting Horse to be right up there. I think there's still some more pace in that McLaren because you have to understand he's on the medium tires. So I would expect him to be challenging Dalvin and Envy as well as Switz a little more once the soft tires go on. But it is the mediums that he's gone with. I think he's going for a soft tire race start. So it will be interesting to see how we do as he backs off. And Marco, did Marco improve? Is Marco going to go ahead? Marco does improve, but not enough. Right at the moment, it is Marco in P16, just a 10th away. He has, oh, there is an invalidation. That is heartbreaking. Toka has taken the checker. Marco goes a little squirrely as he goes out. That means Shadow and Horse, both McLarens are through, both Ferraris, both Mercedes, both Alpha Tauris are through as well. And definitely happiest of the bunch will be the Williams cars of Arvind, as well as Psycho, as no, not sorry, not Psycho, Emanane, as they've also made it through. Q2 is going to be very interesting. Strategies are going to be key because we don't have the spread of pace we had in Bahrain. In Bahrain, the midfield was about 2 seconds apart. That's not the case here. We have P4 to P11, just a second covering the pitch. But that P4 is, of course, on medium tires. That's going to be very interesting to see as we watch Marco drive around the track, getting ready for that thing. I think they've all taken the checker now as Flyboy can't goes P13. I think once most of them retired, it was pretty much guaranteed that Horse was safe, but he did put it into that P4. Foz has to be very happy with his debut. So far has gone on great, but Emanane sadly has that 5-second penalty. That is not something, 5-position penalty, not 5 seconds. Not something that they would have wanted to pick up, especially in practice or in qualifying during an outlap. Not something they would have wanted. So very, very messy qualifying sessions for Emanane, but him and Arvind have both made it through to Q2. So the Williams team overall should be very happy with it. AlphaTauri, as well as Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, and the rest also being very, very close cut when it comes to Quali 2, as we see the drivers get ready to go for the second round of qualifying. The fastest time, the tire you use for the fastest time, is the tire you start the race with. So this is where strategy can come into play. This is where expectations of safety car can cloud your judgment. This is where clouds can play a part. If we have a rainy start, all the strategy, all your tire selections and tire choices are thrown out. So right now, it is clear skies, but the only thing that's not clear is we don't know who's going to be the man on pole. So P2 strategies, Q2 is coming out, and we have Psycho going out on the softer sets. Not not a bad strategy, honestly, in Imola to get the softer sets done and out in the first stint of the race. You have M&A, everyone right now, and we will put that detail on the tires. Right now, it is Dinara, the Ferraris have elected to go out on the medium set, of which only Dinara is actually on an out lap and is in the pits. The AlphaTauri of Scent is in the pits, is on the soft laps, but in the pits. The AlphaTauri of Raj is already on an out lap with the medium. So it's going to have a spread of decisions and strategy. Tire choice is going to be key because the softer tires should be around 7/10 faster than the mediums. And if you while you have a slow pit, a quicker pit lane, I would think, in Imola, the pit lane is not too close. You still need about 18 to 19 seconds to do a pit stop. But if you do a pit stop and you can pull out a massive undercut. So starting on the mediums, while it is the alternate strategy, you know, as it is called, I would think that it is pretty clear. But we have an Alfa Romeo parked. I think he was just letting people through. I was just keeping an eye on it. Psycho understandably puts a purple sector in. I think Raj would take that purple. Actually, I don't know, because Psycho is on the softer set of tires. We will keep an eye out. And we will have the lap times there as well. Psycho, we'll stick with Psycho. And next person we will go to after Psycho will be Raj, as they'll be the ones finishing up his lap. Oh, Psycho, I think, has abandoned his lap. It looked like he was just weaving a bit. Yeah, he seems to have I don't know. He did. Yeah, he has abandoned that lap. I think he's going to abandon. I don't think he's going to complete the lap. I think he will jump in to the pits as Raj comes through, and he is on a lap that will definitely go the entire way. He's on his fast. Psycho does set, but won't be his fastest time. He does set a benchmark. Won't be as fast as Raj goes P1, Eminem P2, Dinara P3, all within 5/10. Very interesting right now. Dalvin is in the pits, so that is Noobster doing his lap, which has been invalidated. We have Foz of Alfa Romeo on track as he crosses the line to go P4. Respectable time indeed, P4, but the time is 1:23. I wonder if that had some mistakes or some sort of issues, as Switz goes P1 with the 7/10 advantage over Raj, and that is a very solid lap from Switz. On the mediums as well, we have the Flyboy on softs. I believe he's starting his lap now, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure we catch him. He's making his I believe his debut, the number 29, for Alfa Romeo. He's doing a time, and I don't know how fast that time is going to be in comparison, but let's keep the telemetry on. Maybe we'll be able to. No, we don't see it. He's got a lot more ERS to spend, so he does have the option of doing 2 hot laps, but you don't want to, because then it is a lot of stress on your starting tire. So we await. I believe this is Dalvin on his out lap. Dalvin is on his out lap. Noobster is about to finish his lap here as he crosses the line, and because of the invalidation, I believe this is going to be his first hot lap. What did Flyboy manage to do? Flyboy goes Flyboy goes 1:17.242. That's a very good time. Very good time. Of course, in the softer compound tires, so that's going to give him a little bit of a disadvantage in the race. As we see Envy, I think, abandoned his lap. It may have been Dinara there, but it is Dinara. Envy is on his out lap right now. He's going to be behind Dalvin. So we'll keep an eye on Dalvin, and then we'll switch to NB once Dalvin has finished his lap. How is there more spawns with less cars? I have no idea. It's been I will say this, Flaky. This is one of the tracks that you will have a lot of overheating with your tires, and I think that's contributing to the spins. As Dalvin sets a purple first sector, you will be very happy with that. The first sector being the power based sector with that long start straight. As he keeps it neat and tidy going through these turns, very important to not have an invalidation in Q2. You do not want to do an extra lap on your race tires. Keeping it neat and tidy sometimes is more important than doing a fast lap when it comes to Q2. He does not have an invalidation yet. He's kept it neat and tidy as Dalvin goes down to the final couple of corners. These corners can make or break your lap. You do not want to risk getting invalidation. You do not want to back off too much, as he'll open the DRS, take the checkered flag. Well, not checkered yet. Take the fast start finish time. 1:16.430. He actually, I don't know where he lost time, because he got purple across the board. But we have Envy coming down the final corners. Will he take P1 from Switz? 1:13.14.15.7. 1:15.7 on medium compounds is one hell of a time, I will say. Envy looks to be in charge as the number 52 Ferrari takes P1 in Q2 at the moment, provisional P1, but that's definitely safe enough for him to abandon the rest of his laps, as Noobster now comes to the line. Nope, he has decided to abandon that lap and go in. I think Noobster will need to do a lap. I think he's deciding now whether he should be going on softs or not. The key here will be, of course, Shadow just Horse does a 1:15 flat almost on the softer compounds. Horse says, enough horsing around, as he goes ahead and puts in a stonker of a lap. What a lap that was. A 1:15 flat. That should definitely take him to Q3. Now, this brings me back to my prediction for pole. I think we're gonna go sub 1:14 here. I think we're gonna get high 1:14s or mid 1:14 for pole. If 1:15 flat can be done in Q2, you can expect 1:14 highs and mids in Q3 with the trap ramping up. As we follow, this is Sent on his debut for Alpha, the faster than Alpha, but Lewis Hamilton, I know, as ridiculously fast, extremely fast, Flaky. As Sent goes, crosses the line. Oh, he's only starting his lap, is it? Yeah, he's only starting his lap. As Psycho is now finished his lap. His lap 1:16 is enough for P5. Psycho did an early run on the softs, abandoned it, and now has decided to put a timer up on the medium compound. So that's a very smart strategy. He knows what to expect grip level wise from the softs in Q3. So now Shadow is knocking on the doors. Now this is where it starts getting strategic. Does he opt for a emanate of the Williams has retired? I think that is Audovin. Finishing up his lap. Now, do you, if you're in Shadow's place, do you go put your softs on and do one more lap? Or do you say P10 is fine, I will stick with it as Set comes along the final few corners and will come down to the line to take, let's see, P13. Just not fast enough with the mediums, just not fast enough. Now Nando is out there, he's doing his lap. Where is Marco? Is Marco, Marco's not that. That's Nando out there. Yep, he's coming around. Psycho will be pitting. He won't finish that lap. Noobster will be going. We'll keep an eye on Noobster's time. Is that enough to get him to P10? No. That was not enough. Is that his outlap then? Nando is on his outlap. Okay, I think that was Noobster's outlap as well, as Dinara comes across the line. Oh no, this is, yeah, that was Envy that came across the line. Envy's gone ahead and done. Envy's saying, you don't get to take P1 away from me. He's gone out on the softer set of tires. This is madness. I would think Horse's P1 and Envy's P2 time currently on his medium tires would be safe, but it is not enough. Scent goes P11, knocks Shadow down to P12, but Shadow is now starting a lap, and this lap is going to be the final hot lap he gets. Noobster is ahead of Dinara here as they take the final set of corners, and he's blinking mad with the ERS. Noobster does not improve. Interesting. As Dinara goes P3 with a solid 115.8, but it is on the softer tires. As let's look at Envy here, who got an invalidation. So, but that was his outlap. He is going to set a fast lap on these tires, which I think is very interesting. I'm not sure if it's the smartest play in the book, but Shadow has had a moment and will not be able to improve unless he's going to do another hot lap. Nando is just crossing the line, stays P14 for now, but is going to be able to start a lap and get a good time in. Envy goes purple first sector. We'll stick with Envy, of course, because he's going, but we are keeping track of everyone out there. Raj and Foz, outlaps, will just be able to squeeze in another lap before the end of Q2. Now, this is throwing some sort of wrenches into Psycho's plan. 116.6 looks safe, but it is not safe if there's a lot of improvement from the bottom runners right now from Flyboy and below. Foz is at 116.8, but he is doing a lap. Noobster is on his final lap now. There is no chance for Noobster to do another lap. 114.8. Envy says, my P1, just not gonna give it up today. As he sets a purple fastest lap. Now, the key here is going to be Nando, who's coming down that main straight. Can he improve? Can he go? Can he crack into the top 10? He cannot. P13 is all he can do. He does have just a bit more time if he wants to eke out more performance, but time is running out for Q2. So he goes a little too wide there. He will back out, I believe, for the rest of the lap. As Flyboy is now P10, Foz P8, Alpha Tauri has to be very, very happy with this. I mean, sorry, not Alpha Tauri, Alfa Romeo. Alpha Tauri of Scent is eliminated. Williams and Aravind, as well as Nando's Red Bull, unless he improves massively in this final lap, will not improve. Noobster finally gets a lap together, goes P9, knocks Alfa Romeo of Flyboy out of P10. Very good lap at the end, but that is a very old used up tire now. I think he's hoping for a safety car start to start the first 2 laps so you can get a pit and get rid of that tire. That is a very solid lap from Noobster, and he does put both Mercedes into Q3. We'll stick with Nando here because he's finishing up his lap, but I don't think this is going to be a lap he pushes. No, he's abandoning it. I would assume he's abandoned it. Yes. As we have Foz coming up to the line. He is safe. He does take that lap in 1:16.8. I don't know if he actually improved. Now let's see who is this. Is Raj. Yes, Raj is going around the final corners. He's trying to set a time on softs. So he starts on softs and he takes the checkered, and that is 1:16.7. I don't think he improved. That will be Noobster coming into the pits. No, he takes the checkered. All right, guys, that is the qualifying 2 finish. Very interesting choices there, especially Envy's Ferrari deciding to, you know what, I'd rather start on the softs. So they went on the soft. The top 3 of Q2, all there on merit of softs. Horse and Envy will definitely be battling out for Q3. Dinara, Switz, Dalvin, Psycho, Raj, Foz, and Noobster and M&A wrap up our top 10, with Williams, Alfa Romeo, Alpha Tauri, and Alpine being the sole runners of the team, as well as Red Bull of Switz being the sole runners of their team, with Mercedes and Ferrari as well, almost Alfa Romeo. Yeah, only Mercedes and Ferrari get both drivers in to Q3. So this is going to be a very exciting Q3. There is an opportunity for tow. Now, I don't know if they will use that opportunity. It is not really worth as much as you would expect. The straight is long, yes, so the tow is effective, but it is not as effective as in a track like Bahrain, Mexico, and so on and so forth. 10 cars, 12 minutes, 1 qualifying session remains in the Emilia-Romagna GP that we are about to start. Let's see who puts it on pole. 1:14 mid has to be target to be secure with pole. As we see Raj, as in Q1, as in Q2, Raj is going out first in Q3, and I think that is Psycho, Noobster behind him, and Foz behind Raj, and then Noobster behind Foz. So on his outlap, as he gets the tires warmed up. So we have Raj, Noobster, and Foz on their outlaps, with then Dinara, Switz, Psycho, and I believe Emanane on their outlaps as well. Envy, actually that's Envy before Switz, and Dinara is behind Emanane. And Dalvin waiting for the last turn, and Horse the only driver in the pit lane. So we're gonna go ahead and spectate on Raj here, as he's be the first to complete his hot laps. Right behind him though will be Noobster, and we will switch to him right after. He's already gotten invalidation, but it doesn't matter, as it is a outlap. You do an outlap, and it doesn't matter if you get invalidations, as long as it's not the final turn that invalidates both laps. You are fine. As he lines up that final turn and guns it down the start straight line. Here we go, start finish straight line, as a Raj starts his lap and Horse starts his outlap. Coming out on track. I think I see what Horse is planning here, and it is some ingenious tactic to get a tow behind Raj at the start finish line. He's backed off. I thought he was going to come. He decided to back off and let everyone through. As unsurprisingly, Raj does set a purple first sector. Everyone should be on their softer set of compounds. We have the lab data enabled for everyone to see as well. All right. P2, Sector 2 is again purple, unsurprisingly being the first one out. Raj was so close to a podium last race. He will want a podium. He will want nothing less than a podium for AlphaTauri. So close to their home. This is AlphaTauri's home race, no doubt. As he will set the time, 1:15.3. As Noobster comes across to set the time of 1:16.3 again, a second behind. Emanane is coming down the main straight. Envy with 1:15.1. Very good time. Switz, can Switz respond? Switz is actually only starting his hot lap, apparently. Interesting. So he got his hot lap invalidated, I believe, because I think that's the third lap. No, he's only starting his first lap. All right. Horse, Psycho, Switz, and Foz are on their hot laps. Let's see if Psycho, what he can do here. It's coming down. Oh, invalidation. That is not what you want. That is not what you want. As we watch Switz and yeah, let's see Dinara and Switz, as well as Dinara's time. They're pretty good times here. They're very close, but you know, guys, sub 114 is going to be pole. That is what's going to happen. I'd be very surprised if we don't see those times tumble down, as Switz finally sets a marked time here. He's on a pretty solid lap as he comes up to the line. 1:15.3, enough for P2, provisional P2, as Horse takes P1. Provisional pole for the McLaren man, 1:14.916, a very strong lap. A very strong lap from Horse. And that will make Dinara and Envy a little envious, I will say. The McLaren time, Horse coming in with a very strong lap of 1:14.9. Now, I am not a betting man, but I know the garage of Envy will be getting ready to finish up another lap. We will switch over to Dalvin, who has now abandoned his lap, as Psycho tries to get a clean lap going. 1:15.8 is what he managed last time around. I think he'll be hoping for a little bit better. Noobster is gonna stay out on track. Saurus needs to stay away. I think there was some tire overheating issues that caused it. All right, we are going down the road. Noobster's helmet looks fantastic. He was working on his helmet earlier today. Definitely showed off. A very nice looking helmet. I wish we could get a more zoomed in shot. That's gonna be it, but very nice looking helmet there indeed. Suits the livery, very nice. So we have Noobster and Envy starts his outlap. Noobster, Psycho, and Foz on their outlaps, and they're doing their laps still. And Noobster is invalidated, sadly. So we will pick up with Envy, and let's see how he responds in what I will give you guys as an audio uplap. Enjoy. We will keep our eye on the sector times. We will keep an eye on the track map. It's all about purple sectors. He does not get purple first sector. Horse has provisional pole as 4 minutes starts ticking down. This is going away from Ferrari. It is a second home race. This is, of course, the Enzo Edino Ferrari track. I think he's lifted off. I think he's going to abandon and go for another one. Who the heck is that commentating? What about Dash? Hello. I'm RD Techie. I am commentating. How you doing? This isn't Taka Stream. This isn't Taka Stream. Hope you're having a fantastic day. What about... It happens. As he comes to the line, he does take P1. Provisional pole away from the McLaren man, who is now on his outlap. This is becoming a fist fight. You're welcome anyway. Indeed he is. A fist fight between Envy and the McLaren of Ferrari, of Horse. He does a good crafty... You talking about me or Taka? Because I haven't been able to watch Taka stream because sadly, I have to do this stream at the same time. No, you. Oh, thank you. I will take that as a compliment. I don't know if you meant it as a compliment. I will take it as a compliment. As we keep our eye on Horse. Now the question is, can Dalvin play spoiler here? Can he put his car between these two? And the answer is yes. He goes 1:15.1 to get P3, takes P3 away from Swids. Horse is now starting his hot lap. He is going to hunt down that pole position from Envy of Ferrari. This is Scuderia's, one of Scuderia's home races. It is going to be a challenge to take away that 1:14.7. We said it will be a 1:14, a mid 1:14 time for pole. These guys are knocking down that time. He goes purple first sector. Definitely helps getting that straight line speed. He's obviously opted to go for a more low downforce setup here. As he takes that fast left-hander. This is going to be interesting. This is going right down to the wire, folks. This is going to be amazing. I am so excited for this race. Horse sets second sector purple. It is going to be the last sector of this lap that decides who takes pole, as Envy, I believe, is in the pit. He will not be able to respond. This is Horse's lap to lose. Horse goes down the main straight. Does he get pole? He does take pole. Provisional pole, 1:14.5. Well done from Horse. What a way to bounce back after last race. Dalvin coming down the start straight line. Oh, he's not going to take it for this lap, but he gets one more lap. Dalvin gets one more lap to respond. Unbelievable scenes. Dalvin gets one last lap. Can he respond? Can he snatch pole from McLaren? McLaren has spoiled Ferrari's day, but can Mercedes spoil McLaren's? This is all going down to these last few seconds of quali 3, guys. And of course, there's a long run down that straight. Envy will not be envious about starting on P2 because you are on the dirty side of the track, even though the impact is far less in this game rather than in real life. Switz is on a hot lap. Everyone is on a hot lap except, I believe, for Horse and Envy. So this order is about to get tumbled. This order is about to get... Horse goes even faster. A 1:14.5. 1:14.5 for Horse. Can Dalvin challenge that? Can Dalvin put his Mercedes on pole? The man has tried and he will not do it. It is P3. It is 1:14.8. The next person we can focus on is Switz, who set a purple second sector. The track has ramped up. Ferrari may be found wanting as Switz comes around to the final two corners of the track. It is an invalidation on the final corner, and Switz loses out on what I am sure was a very strong time. He was only, I believe he had the chance to at least take P3 away from Dalvin, but that invalidation has cost him. It is Horse's day. It is pole position. It is redemption for the McLaren driver after Bahrain Grand Prix's final moments as he takes pole position away from Envy, who we thought had a solid lap for pole, who Envy, I believe, thought had a solid lap for pole, but Horse had other ideas. Not only did he snatch pole, he set 2 fast laps, and Horse now takes pole position. Horse will take pole position ahead of Envy and Dalvin. That's his first pole of the season. Switz starts P4, I believe, due to that invalidation that cost him quite badly. And P4 is actually Raj. Raj pipped. AlphaTauri pipped the Red Bull. AlphaTauri also is kind of a home race for them. They're very close to Imola. And of course, McLaren and Ferrari. Ferrari really would want a win here at what is their spiritual home Grand Prix. Of course, Monza is their home Grand Prix. But we'll be back. And when we come back, it is race time. And I hope you guys are ready, because this is going to be one of those races you don't want to miss. It's Horse on pole with Envy and Dalvin right behind in P2 and P3. Don't go anywhere. We will have a formation lap. We will have a formation lap before we start the race. And hopefully we will have a race start that is clean and tidy. People to keep an eye on is definitely Noobster. He's used up a lot of his tires in Q2. And that means that he's starting on very old medium tires. And that may impact quite effectively when it comes to the first couple of corners and the first couple of laps. Now, of course, I believe he's hoping there's a safety car so he can get them out of the way. But we'll find out in a few moments as we see all the cars line up on track, and it's formation lap, and away goes Horse leading out the pack. Now, what a redemption run. What a brilliant story. From going to leading the Bahrain Grand Prix through some excellent strategic calls, through the heartbreak of the last couple of laps of the race, to now pole position ahead of Envy's Ferrari at Ferrari's spiritual home race. Now, what more could you ask for? It is definitely Horse's race. What a redemption story, and what a tale to tell. Now, as we look into the tires here, as that's the one that we will be keeping an eye on at the start. We have Horse and Envy both starting on soft tires. Dalvin, Raj, Switz, Noobster, and Psycho are all on mediums, but they're not on the older tires. That is interesting. We have enabled lap data so we can keep an eye on their own tracks. Tires. Position change is going to be key. Penalties is going to be key. And if you look at it, top 10, most of them are on mediums. The soft runners are Envy, Horse, Denara, and Flyboy at the edge of the top 10. Scent, even though did not make it to top 10, decided to start on the softer tires. So they might be making some progress as the race starts. Toka and Flaky are way down in 17th and 18th, and last time around Toka had one of the best starts of the race. As we keep an eye right here, we're going to keep an eye on the position change here as we have Horse right now lining up on the track. We're going to go ahead and watch from Switzer's Red Bull as we'll get the best sight as the cars line up. As the cars line up and we await the lights go out one by one, illuminating, and we are off to the races. Switz gets a good start. Envy gets a very good start, as well as Horse comes down. On the inside, can they make it through? They do make it through, neat and tidy. Very good start from Envy. Horse is now P2. Switz lost out a little bit. Here. As Envy and Dalvin make decent starts as well. Horse, the only one that lost out there. As we take a look, Emanane picks up 4 places, is now in P10. Remember, he had that penalty, 5-place penalty. Toka is up 4 places. Fantastic starts from both of them. We have Marco and Shadow also up 3 places. Psycho has had a horrifying start, has dropped. The Alfa Romeo boys have both had absolute horrible starts. Unlucky for them. They're down in the end of this lineup here as they bring up the rear, and they drop 9 places each. I don't know what happened there. The start cameras, I wish were a little bit better, but Foz already gets a 5-second penalty in the first lap as Envy starting to pull away a little bit. 5-10 separating Envy. Oh! Now mind, the timing sheets are making a little chaotic as puts Noobster ahead, but I don't think that's the case, of course. Envy leads Horse, who now 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane. That is Foz's race has kind of gone away from him, but it is Envy that leads Horse. This is going to be interesting. We have a very strong strays here. As we see the pit strategy, 2 stops, you will be using mediums and softs. 1 stop, you have to use, without a doubt, the hard tires. According to Codemasters, according to the experts, you will need to use both sets of tires of hards and softs. Envy is going very aggressive as Horse takes a look down. Will they take a look down onto the corner here? They're sticking with them. I think they will tidy them up. I think Horse will look to sit in that slipstream. Wait for DRS maybe. Wait for turn 1 as that slipstream is going to give Horse a very nice shot at P1. Horse goes to the side, takes a look, decides against it, goes inside. Horse decides again. My goodness, this is going to be a very tight race. Dalvin has somehow disappeared down. I don't know what happened. I have lost track of Dalvin. Dalvin's dropped down 12 places. Raj is now P3. I don't know what happened. The race winner from last race, Dalvin, is now P15. We keep an eye on rest of the track. Most of the racing is currently settling down to a pattern as these two come down to the fasters back straight. Horse will be staying on that gearbox, making sure that Envy does not strut away. Nando Norris gets multiple penalties. Nando Norris gets a penalty, a 3-second penalty. The penalties will add up. It'll be about keeping that race clean, tidy as we go to the final corner. Envy still leads, but Horse is right behind, and DRS will open this lap as Horse has DRS. As he shoots down the inside, Envy will have to let him through. There is no chance. Horse will be beaten. Now Envy gets a chance to sit in that slipstream as they play catch up. Switz now tries to catch up the Red Bull sister team of Raj But there are no brother, sister, sibling helping here. Of course, as Switz comes down, he will have a chance to get that DRS open very soon. As he sits on that gearbox, Horse has stretched out an 8/10 lead. As Nando, and there's a yellow flag. We're going to look at the yellow flag. Who was the yellow flag? I believe that's Nando and an Aston Martin that's gotten out of shape there. That is a full course yellow. It's a safety car. It's a virtual safety car. Now the question is, does Noobster pull into the pits, get rid of his tires? The fastest lap right now, you can see the guys up front putting on a much better track. Yes, he does. Noobster goes into the pits. This is what he was hoping for. This is what he was hoping for. If you look at the stops, here comes the stops. Here we have one stop for Shadow and Foz. No one else has stopped except for Noobster, who now goes on to the harder compound tires. I told you guys that he will try and get rid of the gap, as Envy now still has to maintain. DRS is back enabled. Switz is behind Raj. He has not lost or gained too much. We keep an interval look. Switz has actually lost 2/10 down there. It's going to be a very interesting race. It's going to be a patient race. Going fast, going hard will not help you, as Switz, I think, aims up a move on Raj. It's going to be one of the Williams has dived into the pits. I believe that's Adovan diving into the pits. Envy of Ferrari, Switz of Red Bull. They'll both have DRS. Will they both send it down the inside? Envy decides not to. The man from India driving for the Scuderia decides not to. Switz also deciding not to send it yet. Just didn't have the gap that he needed. It is going to be a race that's close for the rest of these 32 laps, guys. You can see how much Raj is holding that Red Bull up as you see Dinara come up, as Envy is slowly dropping away from DRS range. Horse is pulling up and pulling away, and that's exactly what Horse needs to do, is break that DRS. Scent gets 3 seconds penalty as Switz goes a little sideways, sadly. As we look at Dinara, who is having a battle with Scent, and Scent will have DRS down the main straight. Scent will have DRS down the main straight. Envy will not. Raj gets 3 seconds of penalty, and there he goes. Scent sends it down the inside, but was that a tactical ploy from Dinara, who should now get DRS? Who doesn't get DRS? Now, I don't know if that's a visual glitch. Oh, it is not. It was late. The DRS was gone to Scent already. Oh my. That is going to prove to be a move that Centex will be happy with. It's the Alpha Tauri boys, extremely impressive at the start of this race right now. Flaky up into P10, also quite impressive considering the starting positions. Now, if you look at position changes, Flaky is up P7, a very solid start from Flaky for the Aston Martin team, and so far has had a clean race. Horse is pulling out a gap. He's putting in the laps that need to be done, and he's stretching that gap. What a race, what a race. Switz has now gotten past Raj, is now hunting down. Oh, as I say, commentators curse. Flaky does get a penalty. As we keep a look at... It's not letting me select. There it is. Switz is ahead of Raj, and Nando is being lapped, I believe. Yes, he is. He is being lapped. Will he try and unlap? That is the question. Envy is now catching up. There's a virtual safety car again. My goodness. It's a full course yellow. No DRS. Horse leads the group. It is a virtual safety car. And DRS has been enabled. Safety car is off. This is going to be very, very good. Nando gets another penalty that is going to ruin his race for sure. What's happening now is Dalvin is slowly climbing up lap after lap. That start has definitely left him catching. Noobster down at P6, P12. But remember, he's already made a stop. He's going long now. If he can keep it tidy, it can be very, very interesting. As Envy is slowly catching up to Horse. But Horse pulls out a little bit more of the lead. This is going to be a race that's going to go down to the final laps. BRB, but go Horse, yeah! Raj has DRS soon on Switz, but will he have enough ERS? He's been spending quite a bit of ERS. As we take a look at his ERS, 11% ERS. He's been spending a lot of ERS, and that management may be a problem come end of the race. As they go down to the final few corners of the track, and he will have DRS. Switz will not have DRS. Raj is going to throw everything at it. He puts down his ERS, uses DRS, the wings open as they come down. Speeding in the pit lane for Dinara, that is one of the harder penalties to get because you know it was avoidable. That is an error, a penalty, and sadly that is a horrible, horrible feeling. But Raj and Switz continue to battle as the top three have sort of settled in. Because even with Raj's, if he does manage that overtake on Switz, it's going to be a very, very tough race for him because of that penalty. Now, of course, the leader of the race, that last corner exit did not look too clean, but has a 3-second gap. That should keep him very, very safe as he comes up. And I think he will get DRS from this car that he's lapping, which is Toka's Aston Martin, I believe. Will he get DRS? I thought he would. He does not. I was sure he would, but he does not. It's got plenty of ERS, the battery power. He's kept it. He's managed it beautifully. This race goes to show that Bahrain was not a fluke, that it wasn't just a case of I was leading only because the Ferrari wasn't there. This is a statement drive from the McLaren driver, from Horse. This is a fantastic rivalry unfolding in front of us. Dalvin, though, is slowly inching his way up. Don't count him out, guys. Psycho and Dalvin, these are guys that are going neat and tidy. And these guys are the ones that will be up there when the penalties have been paid out. And that's the key here. I think Psycho is going on a very conservative run. as Marco gets a penalty, 3 second, a multiple minutes warning. Switz is now building a gap to Raj and can pull away and start chasing down the Ferrari of Envy. Horse has been on a class of his own in this first stint, but this is the thing, guys. Switz, I believe, is on the weaker tire at the moment. Slower tire. He's on the mediums. Is he on the mediums? Let's see. He is on the mediums. An 8 second gap on the mediums when you'll be going on to the softs later. That can change everything. So the guys on softs, Envy and Horse, do need this gap. They need at least, I would say, 8 seconds, 10 seconds to cover off that single stopper from Switz. Dinara puts up the fastest lap. The undercut is alive and kicking. I'll tell you guys, this is where it's going to start becoming into play. Do you pit, put on a new pair of boots, and get a pace advantage? 117, guys, is a very strong lap. As you can see, the best lap that the fastest lap Horse did was 118. That is 5 tenths. As Horse pits, Horse sees the undercut being viable. Now here's the question. Envy stays out on track. Envy staying out on track. It's medium for Horse, so that is a 2-stopper for Horse. Envy perhaps going for a 1-stopper as Switz now will chase down Envy. This is an unbelievable race, I will say. If Switz can stay within the earshot of Envy and manage his tires, he may have one storming run to P1 in the later stints. I think Horse is now locked in to to a 2-stop race with a soft tire run coming in. We will keep an eye on Envy, as we will also keep an eye on some of these fights we have, as Dinara and Raj are having a battle. No, it's Dinara and Sentex having a battle. Look at Sent, he is very close. He is on the harder compound of tires as he made a stop here. He has stopped, so this is pretty much, we would think, to the checkered flag at this moment. Unless Dinara is going to stop again and switch on to softs, that is possibility. That is a possibility for sure. Envy, I feel, is going to go all the way. Horse needs to put in some storming laps now, and then put on his soft tires when Envy goes to the harder compound and catch him down. Horse will have to pass Envy, I believe, on track. It's not easy to do, passing Ferrari on track. This is going to be one strong result. Flaky gets a 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lanes. That ruins his race, which has been a strong one so far. Marco, 3-second penalty, but now Noobster has kept it clean. He told me earlier today, my objective is not to be the fastest man on track. My objective is to keep it clean, is to make sure no penalties are there at the end of the race. That's my plan, that's my objective. And that is a very strong result and something you can really opt for. Now we will keep our eye on that Sent and Dinara battle. But another person we have to keep an eye on, guys, is Dalvin, who had a horrible first couple of laps. He ended up P13 and has now consistently caught up. Emanane, what a start. A brilliant start from Emanane, has to be admired, because he had that 5-place penalty because of a collision in qualifying. And now has a very nice position now. He hasn't stopped yet, of course, but neither has Psycho or Dalvin or those around him. So this is the net position, I would think, of P6 for Eminane. So this is a very, very good stint and a very good start from him. After what was a very, very heartbreaking qualifying collision, that gave him a 5-place grid penalty. Flyboy is up to P11 as Marco goes into the pits. As you can see, the Psycho, the Alpine of Psycho in the horizon. Horse is doing what he needs to do. Horse needs to put in some fast laps and get up to about 13 seconds behind Envy, because Envy, I think, is doing a single stopper. Horse still has one more stop. I believe this would be too early, too long for the mediums to run. But 16 laps, Envy has done enough to now switch over to the medium tires and go ahead and finish the rest of the race with that single stopper. Horse will need to put in some very fast laps as Switz is now chasing down Envy. This is going to be for the net race lead. Oh, Dalvin gets a penalty. Switz is on the better tires at this point, even though it is the medium tires. Envy is diving into the pits. So is Switz. Switz saying, I am not letting you get that undercut. I am not letting you get that thing, get that lead. Horse will take race lead, but I think Horse will have to stop one more time as Raj take race lead, but he does have that penalty to pay off in the end. We will keep an eye on where they are. Who comes out in front? It's Envy that comes out ahead of Switz, but Switz will have newer boots. Switz will have better boots as Dalvin is right up behind Envy. Will Dalvin play spoiler? Will Dalvin get the jump on Envy? I don't think so. Switz has new boots, but Switz has opted for a very interesting choice. Switz, I think, is going... Oh, no! Switz goes sideways, and that is not what you want to do. On your brand new tires, the harder tires have not got into temperature, and that's definitely played into Envy. Now, the key here, of course, guys, is going to be the battle between Envy and Horse. It is going to be Envy, Horse, and Dalvin. Can Dalvin play some spoiler here? I feel like Switz with that spin has given up a little bit of an opportunity at the podium or even the win. But I do think Switz should have gone to the softer tires, as we saw Envy take the tires all the way up to lap 16. Nando Norris gets another penalty. Unbelievable, unbelievable scenes here. And guys, if you're watching, thank you for watching. Please do consider hitting that like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on Twitch, please make sure you hit that follow. This is unbelievable. Amazing, amazing stuff right here. Envy is now trying to chase down Horse. Envy and Horse are both on medium tires, but I think Envy is going straight to the finish line. I would be surprised if Horse can keep that advantage and go to the end. Envy sets a purple first sector. This is the battle that's going to decide the race. This, what you do in these laps right now, will decide who wins the race and takes maximum points at Imola for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix as they head down Horse now laps the Aston Martin, I believe of Flyboy. Horse is 3.7 seconds behind Raj as he comes across traffic. And that is Foz's Aston Martin, perhaps? No, I think that is still Flyboy's Aston Martin. I don't know why he's not letting him through. It's interesting stuff here. This Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, I apologize, not Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo of, I believe, Flyboy is giving a lot of trouble to this group. Flyboy, of course, is in his own battle, I believe, with Flaky. And this battle is now slowing down Horse as the Aston Martin and Alfa Romeo go side by side. And Alfa Romeo makes the move on Aston Martin. What a move that was. Aston Martin moves out of the way. Smart move. Horse does get DRS. Udderman gets a penalty. 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. And Horse is again behind that Alfa Romeo, which will move out of the way. He does. Horse had a little bit of flashbacks from Bahrain there when he came up to lap a white colored car. I think you have to consider the clean race that is being had by Zanoob, who's done a fantastic job so far making it a clean race. Raj does lead, but that 3-second penalty and the fact that he hasn't stopped, I think kind of rules him out of the running for wins. But he may still get that podium. This is a long race still. Half of the race is still to go. 12 laps remain as Horse darts down. And we have Switz and Dalvin, I think, getting interested. Yeah, Dalvin still hasn't stopped. He is going the long way possible to then put on the soft tires and try and catch and pass these cars on track with the better tire. This is going to be one of those races where you have to be strategic, where you have to be patient and keep it clean. And Dalvin's 3-second penalty, if it doesn't get removed, will be a problem that they cannot handle. As we see Horse, the lead Horse has on Switz is a mere 12 seconds. Dinara is overtaken by Sent. Oh, Sent overtakes Dinara. No, sorry, Dinara overtakes Sent. As according to the timesheet, Sent is doing a pit, but that's not what happened. I don't know what is going on here. Flaky gets a 3-second time penalty. As we see, Raj just did his pit stop. That makes sense. All right. Raj has finished his pit stops, comes up to his teammate, who wouldn't be fighting him too hard, I think, as he is fighting for a net podium, whereas Sentex, I believe, has too many penalties to be up there. As we take a look at the penalties, which is a good idea to have. Actually, Sent has the lesser penalties, so, I mean, this could go all the way. Stops, 1 stop each, but Envy is chasing down Horse, and Envy will not be stopping. I don't think Envy will be stopping. This is going to be a very interesting race. Horse has clear track ahead of him. Clear track ahead of him. Envy has to now catch up with these back markers, and that's what cost Horse a lot of time as well. Now Horse has 1 more stop to do, I believe. And he will be hoping to switch on to his softer sets, if he does have. I don't know if you guys remember, in Q1, Horse used up a medium, so he's not going to have any more new mediums if he does do 1 more stop. There is a yellow flag, and it is the Williams. I think, yes, it is Adavind Iyer of Williams going sideways into the gravel trap. And will now have to slowly do it as Flyboy gets another penalty. This has been a very messy race as expected with the penalties. And it is kind of heartbreaking because it doesn't take too much for you to get a penalty when you put all right, here we go. Here we go down to the fast turns left and right. Horse will wind up as he goes straight as Raj puts a fastest lap. Welcome back, Dassy. It is a very, very, very tight. So the recap is Horse, Envy, and Switz, they are your provincial. Check laps on current tires for Horse. Okay, let me check this. You may need to help me a little bit, Bhanu. Let's see. Tires, let's go detail tire. There you go. Laps on current tires. Horse has done 9 laps on that current set of tires, which makes me think he's not going the whole way. He has to stop one more time, and he will put on the softs. You have Envy, who is extremely smart and played the tactical game, is now catching up to Horse, but is going all the way, I would suspect. He can handle 15 laps on the mediums. He did 16 laps on a softer set of tires. Great set of, great planning of tire management. So Horse's victory is kind of slipping away unless he can manage the tires for another 8 more laps. Not easy to do when you've done 10 laps already on these mediums. But they managed to take the softs to lap 16, so perhaps it is possible. Switz played the strategy that Codemasters recommended of going soft and then switching on, going medium and then switching on to the hard compound. I thought Switz, seeing that these guys were doing 16 laps on softs, would go a little bit longer in mediums and switch on to these softs, but that's not what happened. So these are the tires as we have. We have penalty galore. Emanane has kept it clean. Noobster, sadly, has not kept it clean. He wanted to keep it clean, has not managed to do it. Foz on his debut is doing 21 laps on his hards. That is crazy amount. He's used the early virtual safety. He's going to go ahead, I am sure, and pit before as he takes up another penalty. It is penalty galore. Dalvin had a horrible, horrible start, but now is coming into play, and now he's got soft to the end of the race to catch up and get into that podium places. Now we look at the gaps. The leader. There we go. This is the lap gaps. If Horse pits, he will have a softer tires. He will put on the softs. He will have about 7 laps to catch back all that advantage that Envy has. If he doesn't pit, it means he needs to now keep 4 laps older tires all the way to the end. 15 lap older tires now. Will it last all the way to the end? That is the question. Bhanu, what do you think? Do you think that's possible? Dassy, do you think they're gonna go for it? I don't know, guys on chat, if you believe that Horse will not pit. If he's doing a 1-stop, let me know. Because I am wondering now, as each lap ticks on, that maybe they're not doing another stop, that they are hoping that these tires last. But this is unbelievable. Their laps have been pretty good, consistent laps, 118.4. As we take a look at Dinara's lap, Sector 13 is 118. Oh, is half a second. I think it's going to be a cruncher. It's going to be close as Envy is half a second faster than Dinara per lap. And he's chomping away at that lead. Horse probably has to save his tires to go. Exactly. Which means Envy is going to be right up against him as we get yellow flags, as I believe some of them were slowing away. Envy does want this bad, and Envy did not get a chance to race. Last race is definitely making it count. 8 seconds the gap between the two drivers as we keep a look on horse as they come to finish this lap. Certainly they will not go. Oh! Did Envy have a moment? Envy did have a moment. Envy has lost out. And that has to be the race victory. Slipping away from Envy. Switz now in P2. Envy is now P3. And that, yes, he's lost about 5 seconds that lap. 6 seconds, 8 seconds. My goodness. Envy has lost out. The man from India, the man driving for Scuderia Ferrari in Scuderia Ferrari's spiritual home race of Imola, loses out. It was his race. It was all working out as expected. But now Envy has to work to get to P2. Switz, on the other hand, does have a penalty, mind you. He does have a penalty in store for him. It's got a 3 second, so if Envy stays within that 3 second gap, he will be able to catch on. But Horse now can actually ease off quite a bit and take the checkered flag in about 5 laps. He will not be stopping anymore, as stopping will not make any more sense. As an Aston Martin moves out of the way of the Ferrari and the Red Bull of Switz and Envy. Envy will be kicking himself. He was pushing hard. He was pushing, and he had a clean race all race long. But when it mattered, that mistake, and it may be a little too costly. As you see the gap, Envy may not even be able to get P3 as he pits. He does pits. Raj overtake and goes into P3. But I think Envy is doing a strategic one here because Raj has a 9 second penalty. Envy is now surely on the softer tires. Yes. Now Envy, we know, is capable of putting on 114 and 115s with their soft tires. This is race trim, of course. But I think we will be seeing some fast laps from Envy to catch up to Sentex and Raj. Remember, Sent, Dalvin, look at this group. Keep an eye on this group because Envy is going to get involved as Dalvin tries to stick close to Sentex as they go down the back straight. Envy probably going for a fastest lap. Yes, that's what I expect. But he then has to overtake Dalvin, who also on the softer tires, on track now. And Dalvin is putting the moves on Alpha Tauri of Sentex. Raj has 9 second penalty, so 3 second penalty for Sentex. As Dalvin will surely have DRS, will surely use the ERS, boost his way past. He doesn't use ERS, he just needs the DRS to get past. Dalvin gets by, Dalvin P4, effectively almost P3. As Envy is now chasing down, you can see that gap. These guys passed him when he was in the pits, and you can see Envy putting one hell of a lap. A purple first sector, unsurprising for the man from Ferrari, as he goes and takes P4 from P5 from Sent. Now he's going to chase down Dalvin. This is going to be what's going to come down to it. Can Envy overtake Dalvin on track? They're both on the softer tires. They're both on similar age tires. Envy is much younger tires, of course, 6 laps younger. But I do think, Banu, I think you are on the point. I think he's going for the fastest lap point plus podium. And I think he had a front wing damage after that spin. I feel like he had to fix it. That's why Dalvin's lead is eroding. Envy smells blood in the water as he goes. 3 laps remain. He's using DRS. He may not. 116. That lap will surely be enough to get him into the podium places if he can get ahead of Dalvin. But Dalvin, playing spoiler, fighting for position, has decided to keep Envy behind him for at least a couple more turns, as Envy is now pushing hard, as Dalvin smells podium as well as Raj has 9 seconds of penalty. Remember, last we checked, it was 9 seconds of penalty, but Dalvin also has 3 seconds. So Envy, if he can sit in the slipstream, effectively gets P3, but he won't be happy to sit in the slipstream for too much longer, as Adam and Dyer and Shadow have a collision, and Shadow gets a 5-second penalty, and that is sad news. He was having a decent race at the start of the race, but it all went wrong. We will look at the position changes. I think you will be surprised at Emanane. It has been a very, very strong race for Emanane, who climbed up 6 places. Scent climbs up 5, as Dalvin has to move, put the defensive position, but Envy says enough, is ahead, and now Envy has 2 laps to get within 9 seconds of Raj, as Raj has that 9-second penalty. I think Switz and Horse can ease off unless the penalties are come into play. I think they can ease off. This is very tricky. Very hard fought race. As the Aston Martin moves aside, I believe that's the Aston Martin of Flaky, who is right behind Marco, and that's Marco's Alpine in front. Marco's Alpine may give this man a slipstream down the main straight here. Envy may get DRS from Marco's Alpine. Envy will get fastest lap point unless there's some last lap surprises. He does get DRS going down. He does get the fastest lap once more. He is going to lap Marco, as Flaky gets another 3-second penalty. 14 seconds, Marco gets 18. We have Denaro with 12, 23 seconds for Nando. There's a lot of penalties to pay out here. And Emanane, after such a strong race, finally gets a 3-second penalty. But I don't think it's gonna affect his position too much. I think he may even climb some positions as long as he stays within that 10-second gap. As Raj will drop down fairly, we will wait for the finishes to end and the penalties to go away. As we see drama, as we see the Ferrari have fuel issues. The Ferrari is having fuel issues. Unbelievable. The Ferrari may have fuel issues. The fuel light is blinking as it is. The checkered flag does just enough to cross the line. Horse did everything right this race and gets that win. What a fantastic race. The laps flew by. Switz will take P2 once again, and Envy comes in P3 to take podium. Dalvin will be happy with that result. Scent and Emanane, again, will be very happy with those results, because Emanane had a 5 places grid penalty to do it. So Swift, Horse, and Envy will be joining us for a post-race press conference. I believe Emanane, or maybe even Scent, will be our... That horse can indeed drive. That horse can indeed drive. What a race that was, guys. What a race that was. Who got driver of the day? Well done. Driver of the day is Zainoob. Unbelievable. Zainoob got driver of the day. as the podium celebrates. Horse had to stay in P3 last time around as Switz and Envy share the podium with the man from Malaysia. Horse celebrates for McLaren. It is McLaren's day in Imola, and we will have them join us for a post-race press conference immediately. So please hold on. And here you have it, the final lineup. It's Horse, Switz, Envy, Raj, Dalvin, Sant, Dinara, Eminane, Psycho, and Foz in P10, rounding up the top 10. Very good job from the drivers. We are going to go to the chatting screen. I'm going to go ahead and get them on media. So Noob climbed 6 places, a very good one. I'm just asking them. I'm just going to go ahead and join the media room. That has been a fantastic, what a race that was. What a fantastic race. I cannot be more excited about this season because it's going to be a straight out battle between Ferrari, between Red Bull, between Mercedes, as well as, of course, McLaren. Horse had a chance to win 2 races. He's won 1 off of it. It's fantastic job. It's congrats all around as the penalties do add up. Hello indeed. Switz, P2, I'm going to start with you while we wait for the others. Congratulations on P2. What a race. I was surprised you didn't try to extend that stint in the first stint and maybe switch on to the softer tires for the second part, but was it always going to be soft and then hards? Was that your plan? Switz, are you there? Oh, I'm sorry. I was mute. I asked you the question. All right. Once again, let me repeat the question. I'm going to start with you while we wait for everyone else to come in. When you were in the race, the first stint, I was wondering if you would push that stint a little bit longer and maybe switch to the softer compounds, kind of what we saw Dalvin do in the race as well. But was that considered, or were you always going to go medium to hard?
At first, I was thinking about going to medium to hards, and then I saw the top 2, Horse and Envy, doing a very aggressive strategy.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that Envy was staying out as long as he could. So the plan switched back to plan A to go to medium to hards because I knew that their tires would be dying at the end of the stint.
It was, and you could see you catch up. Even Horse was struggling towards the end there. So you guys, fantastic race. Congratulations on another podium, 2 in a row. Red Bull have to be happy with that. Congratulations.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Noob, you had a troublesome race last race, but today you are driver of the day. Congratulations. I know you didn't get into points. You weren't happy. You obviously wanted to get into points, but from P19 to 13, that is a massive drive and a clean drive at that. Congrats on drivers of the day, Noob. You can either type it out or you can unmute. There you go. I'm just waiting for the... Okay. It's top 15 for points. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I was starting going by the... Yes, very good then. Congratulations. You do have the points. But talk us through that start. Did you have a very patient start, or were you thinking more about going ahead and just, I need to make up as many places as possible right now? And of course, points for Haas, which is always a very good result. You had a patient start made up to P10 off the start, actually, or 11. Very good. And you had a very clean race as others racked up a lot of penalties. I don't know if you racked up a penalty. I think you did 1 or 2 maybe, but pretty clean race otherwise. Kind of ruined Shadow's race. Okay. And I saw Shadow got a penalty for the crash with you. So I'm guessing that was what. Race director has no mention of it. Very good. Congratulations once again on driver of the day. And let me see if we have someone else here. I'm still waiting on horse.
I don't think they will be able to join.
Yeah, I don't know. What is going on here? Horse came in and then left. Oh, that's fair enough. Okay. And then the other person was Envy. Horse no talk. No, but he usually replies in chat. But that's it for the post-race press conference then. Thank you guys for joining. An excellent race, a fantastic result. Horse takes the win ahead of Switz and Envy. It is going to be at least a 4-horse race for the Constructors' Championship. And of course...
I see what you did there.
at least. So we'll see you guys in the next round next week. Have a fantastic week ahead. This is RD Techie. Once again, making sure if there's any... All right, okay. That is it. Thank you all. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to hit like and subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch, remember to hit that follow. Thank you for all your support. We'll see you guys in the next race. Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate.